Hi, my name is Al Green. Not that one, but the struggling guy who was in the music industry for years trying to sell talent and songs to agents. The agents befriended me and taught me techniques that I want to pass on to you through my program, which is called You Can Talk, You Can Sell. Anyone who has ever taken this program has excelled in selling and either risen to the top of their company, their team, or the top of their field. It's called You Can Talk, You Can Sell, and you can get it right here. Are you struggling not realizing that formal sales training and almost all of the sales trainings there are do not incorporate impractical techniques that reduce resistance and create practical results? In the seminar, The Six-Figure Selling System, what's covered is some of the impractical techniques that are never taught in sales training but are so effective that they produce practical results. Let me give you an example in business to business. You come across a company that you know will be buying whatever it is that you're selling, but there's a sign on the door that says no soliciting, and when you go inside they tell you that they won't talk to anybody without an appointment. This is a very common thing that happens if you're selling business to business. Now, since a lot of companies are relying on outside salespeople to go snag the sales that are not coming in through the internet or through advertising, and it looks like, in many cases, it looks like the company is competing against the salespeople. Well, no, the company needs to make revenue because otherwise there's no point in staying in business. And if it's a large company, they may need a lot of revenue. So basically, it's up to you as a salesperson to bring in that extra that they can't get themselves. So when you're out selling, you're kind of like the hunter. Any technique that you can use that was not taught to you, but fits inside of your moral compass, because before we do anything, we have to establish that we have to keep things very moral and honest. There are techniques that you can use that are actually kind of fun, at least for most of the people that have been trained to use these techniques. One of the techniques, let's just cover one of them, is you go into a company that says no soliciting, and you walk into a lobby and there's a receptionist at the desk and they ask who you're there to see. If there is a board out front that tells you who is on what floor or who is in what department, obvious you can't go reading it. They'll stop you because they don't want you having shortcuts. However, a lot of these companies will have other departments, either a document control department or a shipping department. So you can ask the receptionist, I'm here, I have to bring something to the document control department, or I have to take something to the shipping department, which a lot of times shipping is at a dock that's around the back. And then you ask the receptionist, where is that? I have to make a delivery. She might even say who you're from. You can tell her the name of your company. That's perfectly okay. And then what you do is you go around the back, and when you get to the shipping dock, you talk to whoever the attendant is there and say, listen, I have to get something over to the quality control department or the manufacturing, and I need to find out who's the guy in charge there because I got to go see somebody. And in most cases, they will give you a name. Well, once you have a name, you can come back at another time, or you can call in, ask to speak to that person, and make your appointment. But a lot of things like that are never taught. They're usually, you're expected to go through all of the formal techniques, like finding out by calling first and probing and all this extra probing, when in reality, you can get to the heart of the matter right away. In some cases, you can do this, and you get a response like this. You go to the shipping clerk, and you ask that question, and he gives you a name. Let's just say the name is Mr. Johnson. Yeah, I got something I got to bring to him. And it might even be your brochure, but the shipping guy doesn't need to know that. You'd be amazed how many times a guy will say, here, you want me to get him for you? And believe it or not, that's worked. And then when you see him, you could begin your pitch and your introduction and your presentation ultimately, or make an appointment to come back, which has also been done. That's one of the techniques. Another off-the-wall technique, which is rarely taught, except you do find it here, and that is the clipboard technique, where you walk in with a clipboard and you ask for any name. Make up a name if you have to. It's kind of fun. I'm here to see Raymond Johnson, for example. And they'll say, we don't have a Raymond Johnson here. And lo and behold, they'll ask you some question like, what department is he in? And you can tell him the name of the department that you want to reach, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's quality control, whether it's accounting, whether it's design, or whatever it might be, whatever it is that you're selling that you know you can sell to that company. And they'll say, no, we don't have Raymond Johnson there. How did you get the name? And then you simply pick up your clipboard. And you can buy these clipboards for about $6 at most of those office supply stores. And you pick up your clipboard and you basically say, I'm sorry, my secretary must have gotten it wrong. Or I must have gotten it wrong, but I got the name here at ABC Corporation, and here I am. Okay. Did you have an appointment? She might say. You know, it says that I'm supposed to be here at whatever time it is. If you're there at 2 o'clock, say, it's on my notes. You can even write the notes out yourself, so you're not lying, okay? It says that I'm supposed to be here at 1 o'clock, and it's 1 o'clock. Okay, what department did you say? So let's say, for example, it's the design department. It's a very easy matter of them saying, well, let me call the design department and see if there's a Raymond Johnson there, okay? And they'll call back, and they'll say, we have a Mr. Green here from whatever the name of my company was at the time, and he says he has an appointment with a Raymond Johnson. A lot of times, that person on the phone will either say put him on the phone, or they'll actually walk out to the lobby. Now, you're getting your way in. You see how it works? It's very impractical. It's not taught. But if they come out to the lobby, just hold up your clipboard with the name that you wrote down. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. There must have been a mistake. This is ABC Corporation, right? Yep. Okay. I'm in the right place. But look, I got a note here that I'm supposed to see a Mr. Raymond Johnson. And he might even say something like, is that our other division? Which could be 50 miles away. No, it's this address right here. I'm in the right place. And I'll say, I'm sorry, my name is Al Green. That's the name I go by. People don't forget that. And I reach out my hand to shake his or hers, and they will tell me their name by typical human behavior. And then what happens is it's a matter of me just making my introduction and asking them, if I can't see Mr. Johnson, do you have any time, or can I make an appointment to see you? You'd be amazed at how many times those people will respond in kind, and next thing you know, you've got an appointment, or you walk right in with them and you tell them while you're there. Various other techniques like this have not only worked, but they've achieved some really strange results. I'll give you an example. I was training a field representative a few years ago, and he was having trouble getting inside companies. So the company assigned me to take this guy out and train him and show him how to get in, to get past the gatekeeper. So I said, let's pick a name. So I grabbed my clipboard, we wrote it down. We walked in together, and the receptionist said, "Can I help you?" And we basically said, "We're here to see Raymond Johnson." And interestingly enough, she goes, "All right, if you'll hold on, I'll get him for you." And as a result, by picking a random name, there happened to be somebody there by that name. And she goes, "Let me get him for you." So he comes walking out. We introduce ourselves, and I said, "On the clipboard, we have an appointment to see you at about 1 o'clock. He goes, "From what company?" I mentioned the name of the company, which I'll just say the initials were GG. And he says, I don't recall making an appointment with you. And I said, "Well, maybe our secretary made this appointment. Anyway, while we're here, do you have a few minutes?" And interestingly enough, he said, "No, but if you don't mind giving me a call," and he handed me his business card, "and make an appointment, I can definitely get a few minutes to see you guys." Boom. Okay, we let him go. We walked out with his card. We said, "Thank you." We said, "Thanks to the receptionist." And we walked out laughing hysterically all the way back to the car. Unconventional, absolutely. But did it work? Yes. Both of those scenarios that I just gave you were actual events that happened and took place years ago within industrial areas selling business to business. Now that doesn't really work if you go to a person's house, because usually if you're knocking on the door, you're taking a chance of just going back to the original door-to-door selling, which is covered in the six-figure selling system. So good luck with that. Give it a try today.